Welcome everyone to another episode of the Archives. This is going to be the last one before turkey season. My season will be kicking off soon, and I just don't have time to put any more up. I have a couple more that I may put on the channel in the future, but for now this is going to be the last one. And we're going to roll into turkey season here soon, so we'll get some fresh content up. This hunt took place about 5 years ago, and the fellow I'm hunting with is my buddy Garrett Prahl. Most of you will recognize him as the DIY Sportsman or DIY Sportsman. His YouTube channel is pretty popular. He's been on the Hunting Public. If you watch that show, he was a guest on the Public Land Challenge, their first one they had in Minnesota. And Garrett and I have been friends for a while. 5 years ago, we hooked up to do some turkey hunting. Now, he had killed a turkey, I think one turkey prior to this, but he hunted in a blind with his bow and that sort of thing. And so I was anxious to get him out there and show him the fun that you can have in the more mobile aspect of turkey hunting. You know, if one spot doesn't work out, you move to another or do some running and gunning, that sort of thing. So, without further delay, let's get into the hunt. The first morning, Garrett and I went out to a spot that, some public land that he had found, and he knew there were some birds there, and so that's where we started off. And if that didn't pan out, then we were set to go to other places. But here's the first morning with Garrett and I hunting together in Wisconsin.
We're right here on the border, not far from the border in Minnesota, Wisconsin. And we're right along a little river here with sheer cliffs. So there's public land on either side, but you can't hop across because of the sheer cliffs. But we got one gobbling right on the edge here. He's roosted right on the edge of the river. And we've got private land between us and him. There's a little strip of public access you can walk along the river here at the top of the cliff. But we got a big portion of it right here where we're at. And so we're going to set up in this little clearing, throw a decoy out and try and pull this bird in. So we're going to get set up real quick and start calling to him before he flies down across the river. Well, we got set up, folks, and the birds have flown down, and they're still gobbling periodically. They're kind of hanging a few hundred yards down the river, or upstream, I guess. I'm not sure which way it's flowing. And we're going to sit here for just a little bit longer and see if they're making any progress towards us. You know, we're not in a bad area, but we're kind of limited in how much we can roam because public land is small. And just a small little access along the river here that we can get to some bigger woods, which is likely what we're going to be doing here soon, is heading towards those bigger woods and getting closer to that gobbler. But I just want to get more of a bearing on what he's doing, if he's heading this way or if he's just hanging out where he's at. So we'll listen for a few more minutes and then decide what to do. Likely going to head towards him though. And that is Garrett Prahl, DIY Sportsman on YouTube. His video sucks, so don't check him out. We've scoured this area here and haven't been able to get on any more birds. Although there is a hen out there in this field, we can't hunt it. But we're gonna go gobble down a biscuit or two and head south to the southern part of this zone we're hunting. And there's some public land down there. You know, let's see if we can get on some birds down that way. I've hunted it before, so I feel good about it. Let's go.
So we bounced around all afternoon. We headed about an hour and a half or so south of where we started that morning, but we couldn't get on any birds. We did call up a hen, but that was about the highlight of the afternoon. We went back to the first spot the next morning, but this time we went across the river from where we hunted the previous morning. And we were hoping that because the way the terrain set up, that either the birds were roosting on that side of the river or we could at least call them to that side. Because the first spot we hunted on the first morning was such a narrow strip of public that it didn't give us room to roam around, and we thought this would give us a better chance of getting on these birds.
Got some birds gobbling on this river yesterday. We were on that side, but it's such a narrow strip to get through there. makes it almost impossible to access. So we were hoping there's some birds on this side, but we've only heard them gobble on the other side. But we're gonna get set up here, and maybe we can get them to pitch across the river. It's pretty steep banks, and it wouldn't be nothing for them to just pitch across. He gobbled once when I was calling it.
Yeah, he did. The challenge is, depending on how high up they're roosted on that other ravine, they might be at a lower elevation than the top of this ledge is.
Anyway, that's our biggest problem there. So we have a seat and listen for a spell. Don't even put a decoy out, just sit without. Maybe right here. This tree looks good, it's got some good cover. Got a hen firing there. That one turkey's gobbling. He's not terribly far away, but his gobble is really quiet. That might be a jake yelping. See it? No. Right to my left, to my right.
I have to stand up and show me.
Yes, it's a jake.
Okay, I can see him.
Can you come up and shoot him?
Slowly or fast?
He did. No, he's good. He's out of. It's too late now because he's been. There's a gobbler straight out in front of you. Straight up. Well, that was kind of a disaster this morning. And I'm going to take the blame on that one. Well, I could give you the blame.
I'm not shooting.
No. We got in here, we heard the birds gobbling. We thought they were across the river, but there actually was a couple of them on this side of the river, and they weren't too far away. Well, all we heard was what we thought was a hen, and I later thought maybe it was a jake because it had some sounds that made it sound like a jake. So I decided we'll just sit here and listen and call, not put a decoy out in case we had to move quickly. needless to say, hen came in behind us, no decoys, so she was searching. Then the jay came in, you know, they're looking for this hen, and so without a decoy out, they saw us sitting beside the tree. The jay quickly trotted over the hill, and then another one snuck in front of us while we were concentrating on these birds.
So we struck out at that river spot once again, and we decided to do some hopping around like we did the first day. Now this area of Wisconsin is full of smaller tracts of public, you know, a wood lot with some ag around it, and the plan was just to go to each one, maybe do a few calls or do a little blind setup for a little bit and do some calling and see if we could finally get lucky and find one of these spots that had a bird on it.
We finally made it to another piece of public land we're set up on. Doesn't appear anyone's been back in here, and there's no one parked at the gates, so had to cross a little bit of water to get over here. Hoping that was a deterrent for any other hunters in the past, and so hopefully we haven't had much pressure in this location. So anyway, we got a decoy out in front of us, traditional, you know, setup. We're about 25 yards from it. We're hunting in between two open fields. We're in the middle of a wood lot. Gonna do some calling. Hopefully a bird comes in. You know the drill. So keep watching. Hopefully we'll have a bird here soon. Was that directly off your left shoulder?
It sounded like it was back there, yeah.
Well, we were just about to gather our stuff up to leave, and the turkey just gobbled out the blue off behind us. So we're gonna sit tight here for a little bit and see what he does. Does he sound like he's straight over there?
Yeah, he's probably at the top end of that field. Somewhere out there.
Okay, you just keep your scope on him. And let him come as far as he'll come. Remember, aim for the base of the neck. There he is. He's at the top of the hill, strutting. You see him? No. Okay, he's just sitting there strutting. Here he comes. Here he comes down the hill. Be still. Stay calm. Do you have a clear shot on him?
Not yet.
Okay.
Where's that tree?
I'm gonna have a tree in my way in a second. You gotta let him go past that big tree.
When he clears the tree.
When he clears the tree, you can shoot him. Base of the neck.
Yeah. Nice.
Go ahead and get him. I don't know who was more nervous.
I was shaking pretty bad.
I could hear you. Well, that's a big one. Did you see how big that fan was? Congratulations.
I didn't even look. I was just looking at that head.
That fan was huge.
So another fun hunt, this time with my buddy Garrett Prahl, DIY Sportsman. And if you've never heard of DIY Sportsman, you haven't checked out his channel yet, I'll put a link to his channel in the description of this video, and go check it out and tell him Shane sent you. But another fun hunt, and I hope you guys enjoyed these archive series of calling on turkeys, spanning the last 10 years. I have a few more, like I said, but I won't put them up this season. We're going to get ready to roll into the 2020 turkey season here soon, so be ready for that. And I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. So we'll see you, I guess, March 15th. I'm hoping to have the first episode out by then. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Until next time, good luck everyone this spring, and we'll see you on YouTube, I guess.